Okay. I'm just setting up the stream here, guys. We're just gonna be a minute here. Make sure this is all working. Make sure it's all working. I think she's good. One sec here. We're gonna be a minute here. Make sure that... Yeah, sounds like it's working to me. Okay. So anyway, just give me a second here. We're gonna just give her a minute. I'm just gonna stream here in about 10 minutes. So I figured we'll just start early. Ooh. All right. Yeah, man. So today's gonna be something different. There we go. Oh yeah. So make sure I got my setup here pretty good. I haven't done a lot of YouTube streaming here before, so we'll the setup might just be interesting for a little bit. But I think the audio should be pretty decent. If you guys do have if you notice something, let me know, and we'll kind of go from there. Just bear with me here for just a minute of your time as I just get my desk wiped up here. We're gonna get ready to go. It's gonna get pretty hot. Okay, there's that. I just want the microphone a little closer, that's all. I think that should be fine. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Yes, yes I do. I do think that. Perfect. Alright. Alright indeed. So a little bit of, the fudge. So a little bit of just information here, guys. There's going to be a live stream here, and you might be watching this on YouTube after here. 1 second here. I'm just getting, oh, hold on. Oh, it's 1 second here. It's telling me I should be lowering my bit rate here. I don't know if I can do that midstream or not. I probably can't. Oh, maybe I can. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I put 20,000 on. Apparently that was generous. Okay, we're just lowering the bit rate here. Give me a second here. We're just going to see if that does the trick here. YouTube was just complaining about it, saying that you guys were getting some buffering on your end. All right, I think that's good. It said poor quality. It went from excellent to poor. That's ridiculous. Okay, here we go. Hang on. Hang on. Okay, I think we're good. Sorry about that. As you can see, I don't do too much YouTube live streaming, but we're going to start getting into, I think, a habit of that here very soon. Yeah, it's still telling me to lower my bitrate apparently to 4,500, even though I put out 5,000. I was like, man, it's just 500. Yeah, so anyway, so yeah, like I said, so if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, which I know you can do, what's going on, Pencil Pushers? Nick Daniels here. So today we're going to be reading some date fails for probably about 2 hours, and then I'm going to go watch some Riley Reid. So what that is on the old YouTube channel here, my YouTube channel, as you would probably figure, I uploaded this video. Oh, look at that. That's sick. I uploaded this video here. So Reddit date fails, and I've got a whole series of them coming. And by that, I mean I have all these. So I have all these thumbnails here ready to go. Those are just some sneak peeks, which is going to be pretty awesome. So I did a complete series on this, and I'm really looking forward to continuing it because I had a lot of fun with it. Ooh, 7-Up's hit me. So basically what that means, what we're going to be doing here is just we're going to be going along here. We're going to have some people join in live. I see we had a couple people in just a second ago. So we're going to be doing, we're going to be going on an r/ask Reddit post made a couple of years ago, but that doesn't really matter. And we're just going to be reading through it and then commentating as we go along because I feel like I have a lot of insight into this. Now, unfortunately, in this post specifically, it doesn't look like I can credit somebody, but this first one looks like a real doozy. So I think without any further ado, we're just going to get straight into it here. Got the fireplace there in the background going. Unfortunately, the webcam doesn't pick it up super well, so it's hard to see what's going on there, but that's a fireplace. If you guys are watching live, let me know if there's any audio issues, but I think it sounded good to me. So hopefully that's mint. Well, of course, we're going to full screen this, and we'll see if we can maybe zoom it in a bit here. I know there's a keyboard shortcut for that, but I don't know how to do that. I don't remember that. Yeah, that would be a lot better. It should make it so you guys can see it, right? Oh yeah, that's mint. Okay, just go there. I'm just gonna quickly mute it, so there might be an echo for a second here. Okay, that sounds mint. All right, yeah, so without any further ado, let's get right into it here. So we're going to be reading a post on r/askreddit, and the title of the post says here, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish, Tinder users, what have been your online dating horror stories? So, like I said, without any further ado, man, let's get right into it here. So this one looks like a doozy, dude. So we're going to be here for a few minutes reading this. This looks like a lot. Unfortunately, I can't credit anyone on this one because it's a deleted account from 7 years ago, so that's rather unfortunate. Hey, what's up, Wesley? Thanks for tuning in, man. All right, let's get into it. So yeah, like I said, can't credit them, but we're gonna read it anyway. And again, hopefully this is meant. So long, but I got this courtesy of OkCupid. I have used OkCupid before, by the way, and I don't recommend the dating app. I was 24 and from school had been messaging this cute girl who could actually hold a conversation really well. So after I got home in December, we decided to meet up. I will definitely say that's a rarity that they can even hold a conversation, but you know how it is. 7 p.m. Show up at her place. Now I'm a little confused because like the thing you'll notice about these dating stories when I'm reading them is like sometimes there's not enough information to go on of what the hell's happening. Like I'm just assuming he's meeting her for a date. And, like, I don't know if he's just gone over to her place to get busy or what's going on here. Nikki fucking D. Thanks, Wes. Appreciate it. So, yeah, shows up at her place. She isn't 120 pounds heavier than her picture. Doesn't have a beard or Adam's apple, and hasn't axe murdered me yet. Chemistry is great, and we actually start making out before I pull out of my parking space. So far, so good. OkCupid. Okay, so I read that wrong for a quick second there. So clearly he didn't get catfished, which is amazing. And then apparently on a first date without meeting each other within like 5 minutes, they just started making out in a car. All right, interesting. 7:15 in the car, things are fine. She's talking about her modeling job, which is cool. Just finished finals in med school. Anything that isn't enzyme or nerve circuit is welcome. Okay, cool. I mean, so far this isn't a fail. This is actually kind of a win. Good on him. 7:30, arrive at ice rink and race each other inside. This is fun. Literally sprinting to see who can get ice skates first. Okay, so that's a good date, a good first date. Go a little skating, a little skate. I like that. 7:35. Man, he's got like, dude, did this guy like literally like take a notepad and just write down like every 5 minutes like what was happening? 7:35, inside, and she's still going on about her local modeling career and all the free things the vendors and designers are giving her. Thrifty, cool. She hasn't even asked anything about me whatsoever. She's cute, and I don't think she has a penis. So, like, I can get where the guy's coming from here, man. He probably just wants to get laid. There's nothing wrong with that. She's not asking shit. That's fine. Whatever. Like, I don't know. As long as he wins the ice skating, I mean, in my opinion, to the victor goes the spoils, right? Been skating for a while at 8:45. I now know about the process of applying runway makeup, the time constraints and approximations of changing outfits depending on the number of pieces, and how to adjust hip, tilt, and swing during a catwalk if your clothing piece is too heavy versus has a long train. I now know every cost approximation of at least 12 different clothing pieces. So it sounds like clearly like she's just been going on and on and on about herself and her career and her schooling and everything, but like, yeah, that doesn't sound that great. 8:50. She can't talk if she's eating, so he suggests that they get food, which is a great idea, by the way. I don't know the area, so she inquires the first thing about me of the night. Yes, I do like Mexican. Personal thought, Mexican, like tacos, should be something casual and nice for first date. Do agree. You don't want anything too serious, something light. You know, I think that's great. That's all right. Okay, so, I mean, so far it's really nothing too bad. 9 o'clock, we arrive at the place. It's not Taco Bell or Chipotle. 40-foot high wooden vaulted ceilings with hanger sheer fabric for ambiance, and the swankiest fucking bar I've ever seen. I read crystal on the neck of the display bottles popped out. Isn't that shit rappers sing about? Oh my. Okay, so far so no big deal. Man, he's got 9:03. Like, you can't, like, literally expect me to read that and believe he actually, like, timed out 3 minutes it took him to sit down. 9:03, sitting down. She's been bragging for a bit that despite being a model, she's never done cocaine. Waitress gives me a warm, moist hand towel to wipe off my hands as I sit down. I'm wondering if I'm in a strange music video. The prices are steep. I'll just have a soda and a salad. She knows everything on the menu by name and what it should be paired with. She's been here a few times. I wonder if with other guys. Ooh, interesting. 9:30. I would really like some cocaine. I don't understand. He's just skipping around. 10:20. My course ain't got shit on the knowledge for the fashion industry. 10:30. I have no idea what she ordered, but the bill is $105 plus tip. She asks if we should go, and I say yes. She makes no attempt to pull out her wallet, so I bite the tab, trying to conceal my pissness. Should have ordered more than one drink. I mean, $105 for two people. Definitely a little bit more steeper. Like I would actually say more. I mean, depends if you get a drink, a meal. Like I think 2 meals on average. I mean, I'd say what, 20 something bucks a meal, and then closer to 10 for a drink. I don't know, $100 though, man. That's a lot. I doubt she was paying though. They almost never pay on a first date. 10:40. Not too impressed with the date, but I walk her to her door. Or walk her to the door, sorry. She asks if I want to come in. I'm not used to dating after 2 long relationships, but I know this is a good sign, and I get excited and accept. So we go in. That might not be a great idea. 10:41. I meet her mother in a bathrobe, completely unfazed by my presence. She asks if I know how to fix a light socket. 10:47. Apparently he fixed it. I don't know why this guy is timing it out. I can't get by this. Like, why is it like this? Just say what you did. 10:50. In her room, score. I've seen this in movies before. Yes, sir. She's taken me through every lotion and perfume and tin of makeup and brush on her vanity and told me the brand, the list price, and how much she actually got for it. That'd be just excruciating. She's almost finished telling me the brand, location, and purchase of every shirt, skirt, pair of jeans, and jacket in her closet. She is upset that her friend stole a bracelet from her 2 weeks ago. She wonders if I would help her look for it. Haven't gotten laid in a long time. Yes. I mean, I'm just saying, man, like the things we do, men do, man. I'm telling you, this simping ain't easy, but don't do it like this, man. 11:35. She is literally crying with tears down her cheeks because I could not find the stolen bracelet. Behind, under, in her dresser, vanity, bedroom, yada, 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 yada. If it was stolen, why did she ask me to look for it in her room? Yeah, that makes zero sense. I'm really confused about this story. I don't know where this is going. 11:40. She has stopped crying and suggests we watch a movie. Good. I need to mentally check out for a minute. 11:45. Pay-per-view or something. Evil Cabin Zombies in the Woods Dead 27. That sounds awful. Probably better than the new Resident Evil movie, but yep. So, yeah. I know Mouse liked it, but she hated the ending. Who am I kidding? Extensive commentary on the superior quality of acting begins and ensues for the duration of the movie, but she says she has a knot in her back and wants me to massage it out. I accept this responsibility. I don't know why that's highlighted, but maybe that goes to a different story. Man, dude, he's doing pretty good. Giving her a massage on her back, watching a movie. They went skating, had crappy dinner. Oh, whoa. Her shirt is off, and she is dead set on me massaging out a very specific knot on her left shoulder, which does not exist. Man, how did the shirt just come off? What the heck's happening here? Whatever. Apparently the special effects of the movie should have won a Tony Award or something. I don't know. Man, how long is this? This crap. Movie ends at 1 a.m. Movie ends. My arms are getting sore. Been kissing her sensually for a while. Have not been able to get her A, to shut up, or B, to turn over. C, actively engage said kisses. 103, sequel to Monsters in Alien Woods, homiciding stereotyped sluts cast with murder, yada yada yada. My lips are super tingly from the $72 lotion purchased at Macy's. Still massaging. Okay, I'm just going to start reading the times. Can't feel arms or lips at all. She starts participating in the making out stuff and politely tells me that for religious reasons she's saving her virginity until marriage. I completely understand when it comes to faith beliefs like that. I respect whatever choices you make, cool, no hassle, and we start fooling around. Yeah, see? No reason why you can't fool around, right? She's saving sex for marriage, No reason why you can't, just give her the old golden shower. 2:30, I'm excited. I finished her off about, oh Jesus, okay, about 2 to 3 times. I feel like a champ, but I'm still completely clothed and have not been touched in any way, shape, or form, as I'm still being all sexy like. I casually say, what about me? She informs me that the bathroom is right over there and tells me I can take care of myself in the shower. I think I'll just hold it. Ooh. I guess Buddy's just gonna go pee. We've been silent, cuddling. Hey, this is nice. I love cuddling. She is comfy, and she's not talking. This is good. Out of silence, she whispers, I see demons. Yours are yellow, and in 12 seconds, I shit myself. I learned that my demons are angry, and she is scared of them. Don't worry, I am too. She tells me that she has been exercised on 2 occasions, and it's helped a lot. Oh, what? I try to be supportive because this doesn't seem like the kind of thing, you know, you don't go around just telling everybody. What the hell, man? Sleep for her, another hour of being stiff as a board and scared before I pass out. 9 o'clock, I guess, in the morning. Her mother knocks, and I, 6'5", attempt to hide under the sheets. Mother comes in, nonchalantly tells her that they're going to a friend's house for dinner, asks if the bearded guy under the blanket wants to come. I decline. Makes up an excuse, basically. No, we didn't go on a second date. We had a pretty typical anticlimactic. Okay. I don't know. That was a really odd one. Really long, like, a lot of, like, useless detail. Like, a lot of filler detail that just wasn't relevant at all to anything at all related to the actual story. Basically, it sounds like, Buddy went ice skating with a girl. She wouldn't shut up about herself, which I would have just been done with right away. Then he went on a dinner for some reason. She did the exact same thing. And then he went over to her place, like, probably, like, you know, he fooled around with her. You know, she got off a couple times, and then he was, like, all upset because she didn't do anything to him. Okay. I don't know. That's all sounds like a pretty miserable experience. Let's read this one here from Kitties Are Cute. Because, yeah, that one was really not that good. I went out with a guy from OkCupid. It was going pretty well. We went out about 4 times and then decided for our next date we would try shrooms together because he had always wanted to try it. I mean, I'm not into drugs, man. I'm just saying, if you're gonna do them, man, do them with people like you really trust. So I don't know, man. 4 dates with a guy, I could just be a little off. I've done it plenty of times and assumed we would just have fun walking around this parade, but they ended up being very strong. He starts having a religious experience and writing about God in a Sharpie all over my bathroom walls while reality is shattering around me, and I start bawling my eyes out. In the morning, we painted my bathroom walls together. We never spoke again. Terrible experience, but I'm pretty grateful for the story. That sounds awful. I just want to thank everybody, by the way, who's in the stream right now. We got a couple people popping in there, so I just want to thank you guys while you're poking in. A lot of these we're probably just going to be jumping right through because you know, normally with the videos I have a quick glance at them really quick, but this here for the live stream we'll just be jumping through and seeing what we can find here. Okay, let's read this one here. We got one from Mizzy. Is that it? Mizzy. I don't know why I can't say that. This one, OkCupid. Before I met my girlfriend, and I had talked with a girl, and things were going well, and we agreed to go on a date. Wow, I like how that just is worded. We agreed. Before the date, these were the physical attributes I was led to believe. Oh, interesting. Yo, what's going on, Duke? Thanks for coming in, bud. She's short. She always had a joke about how she was short. Okay, so we don't know what kind of short, like 3 foot tall, you know. Could be just like literally dwarf. I mean, that's fine. Whatever you're into. She said she had a couple of small tattoos, small in capitals. That's always going to be interesting. And she was skinny / average weight. I bet that's all completely wrong. I mean, he didn't mention the caboose, but we're going to find out about that, I bet, in a second. I go to pick her up, and the woman that answered the door was over 6 feet tall with full tattoo sleeves on both arms. Oh, and she was bursting at the seams pregnant. Dude, I really hope that ain't his date. Because I was so taken back, I only said, what the fuck? She laughed and said, surprise! And her voice was really odd. I wouldn't even know how to explain it. Before the anger of being lied to set in due to absolute shock, she told me to come in. I sat on the couch and she yelled at her cats, who were literally just laying around there doing nothing. At this point, the shock had worn off, and I was thinking on an exit route. I mean, this lady was monstrously pregnant, and escaping on foot was my only chance. It's pretty funny that he's literally just going to run away. I pointed to the kitchen and asked about a piece hanging on the wall. She turned to look, and I ran out the door. That's hilarious. But he actually, like, dude, the guy just booked it right out of there. I always say this, man, in, like, any dating experience, any dating video I do, I'll always say this to the end of my days, man, is you never pick somebody up And this is why, like, you can get into these situations where you don't know who you're picking up. What I would actually suggest is you meet in a public location every time, dude. Because, like, this is what's going to happen. You're going to meet up. You're going to, like, why he even went in there, dude, like, I have no idea. And the fact that she went, like, surprise, and, like, completely misled the guy in what she appeared to be like look like, is extremely disrespectful. Damn, but the fact that he ran, that's pretty funny. All right. Okay, I don't think that one didn't look like really good. Okay, hold on. What do we got here? Let's read this one here from Deleted. We'll just like this one right here. Okay, went on a date with a girl from OkCupid. That's what that is, by the way, if you don't know. The OK and then C, OkCupid. She told me about how she ate. What the fudge is this? Dude, what is this? I'm serious. I don't know what that is. Is that must be? Well, I mean, I assume it's food. Prescription medicine used to treat the symptoms of seizures and panic disorder. Okay. All right. I mean, I didn't know. I thought it was like a fruit or something. Okay, so apparently I don't know why it says eats then. That just sounds like you wouldn't like eat pills, would you? I mean, I take pills. I don't eat pills. I don't like knife them up for dinner and put them in the toaster oven. Immediate red flag, but I had been single for almost a year and agreed to a second date. It just didn't click. I couldn't get over how assertively crazy this girl seemed. Told her I didn't want to go out again. She gets my OkCupid account banned, cusses me out on Snapchat, and then sends me pictures of her firearms telling me to watch my back. I'm just glad we never exchanged phone numbers. Man, like, that's crazy. I mean, the only reason, like, that you would even have Snapchat is, like, yeah, just to send nudes, right? Like, it's just meant to ghost. Because it's the icon, as someone else would say. Man, that's messed up. Let's read this one here by Samanthanus. Is that the name? Samanthanus. Went out with I love it says with another girl. What does that even mean? Like, I guess, like, she is a girl? You could just say went out with a girl. Nobody cares. Went out with a girl. She seemed pretty cool, but a little on the weird side. She had a good taste in music and was into all the same nerdy shit I was into too, so I went with it. We went on a few dates, made out once. I took her out to dinner, and then we went to a gay bar for some karaoke. She left me to go chat with the boys at the bar while I sat alone at a table. They kept buying her drinks, and she got more and more drunk while I sat there sipping my beer waiting for her to come back. Eventually, a group of college-age lesbians walk in, and she immediately wanders over to them. They all go back outside for a cigarette. I sigh, and I finish off my beer. My date and one of the other lesbians come back in and walk towards the back of the bar towards the bathrooms. They stop and start making out against the wall. I left, but my date followed me out. She cried and begged me to not leave her there, and that she was drunk and made out with strangers sometimes. All romantic feelings were crushed right then and there, but she and I still hung out as friends for about a month. Then one day she made the moves on me. I declined. She punched out a window and then ran out in the middle of the street and laid down. I drove away and cut all contact. Dude, what is wrong with that person? The fact that they would like go on a date and start making out with like random people at like a gay bar, and then the date is like, yo, like what? Like, that's just be you and me here. Like, I get like at that point you're not necessarily like exclusive per se, but you would at least have the respect to be like, hey, I'm on a date. I'm gonna present myself in that manner. Like, that just, yeah. And this lay out in the street, like literally just to go lay down and just like, I don't know, man. That's messed up. Oh, who have we got here? Okay. Oh yeah. As soon as I read this right here, this is what my eye drew to. It says I blocked him from all venues. That's good. Starting talking to a guy, he seemed pretty nice to start off with. He kept offering to buy me things I wanted, which seemed a little weird, but I can't say politely, but I politely declined and ran with it. The more time we spent talking, the clingier he becomes. It reaches the point where he's like, where the fuck have you been in the last 22 years? And he's one step away from worshipping the ground I walk on. I should probably clarify he knows basically nothing about me at this point. Yeah, it's pretty rough. I will definitely say that when men do that, like, simping ain't easy. And that's really what it sounds like, is like where she was like worshipping the ground I walk on. Like, men do that shit, man. You know what? And it's not good. We agree to a date, but the closer we get, the clingier and creepier he becomes. I decide to call it off, particularly following a long phone call where he told me way more about himself than I ever wanted to know. I thought nothing more of it, having canceled the date. So she's she's canceled, gone, done. I don't know, texted him, whatever. The next day, I play some video games. He bombards me with calls, text messages. When I don't respond to the text messages, he starts messaging me online, like I guess like Facebook or something, saying, "Don't I know he can see when my status changes from away to online? What could I possibly be doing that's more important than talking to him?" I blocked him from all venues, including my phone, but he managed to leave me a scathing answer phone message. Okay, so just like a voicemail, to insult me and generally call me a dick. Nice. Pretty sure I dodged a bullet there. Like 100% that girl dodged a bullet, dude. That's terrifying when that happens. When it's like talking to a dude seems all right, and then like it just starts getting like worse and worse as you start moving in. Not good. Okay, we got the old 7-Up right now. Okay, here we go. I was on OkCupid when I got a message from a nice girl. I like that right away. A nice girl. You don't even know if she's a nice girl. You're just saying that. She asked me how my day was, and I responded. Wow, this sounds like literally like an NPC conversation. Being polite, I asked her how she was. After about 5 minutes, I get this 2-page response of how she was abused as a child, filled with many graphic details, and how she was going through a PTSD episode at the moment. She also listed all of the screaming night terrors that she had. He put had twice here. That she had within the last month, and the horrific nightmares too. I wasn't sure how to respond, so I just told her that I hoped she would feel better, but I wasn't the match for her. She messaged me later telling me that no one ever wants damaged goods and that I was an ass. I don't think she took my rejection well. There's definitely like a point in time of saying that kind of thing, right? And bringing that up into a conversation at a later point when you know somebody a little bit better. But like literally within the first like couple minutes of a conversation, don't open with that. Don't bring all your don't bring in the baggage. There's a TV show about that, okay? It doesn't work well. Okay, let's go. We're going to read this one here. This one looks like a bit of a doozy from Black-Eyed Susan. I know, the first line's pretty funny. I went on a date with a very tiny man. He was tiny. Probably micro penis. I have nothing against dating men shorter than me, but I get uncomfortable when they're too small because I'm 5'11" overweight. I'm a 5'11" overweight woman. This guy was 5'5" and weighed maybe 120 to 130, but he seemed very nice in his messages and seemed to have his life together. See? That's what it's all about, man. You get your shit together, man, doesn't matter. We go to grab drinks at a bar, which I think is a great date. Very fantastic idea. He's nice and we're having a good time. But eventually he starts making odd comments / compliments about my height and how strong I looked. Uh-oh. Dude, this guy's gonna be a straight up weirdo, dude. I thought maybe he was just a little socially awkward and hey, it didn't seem malicious. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Well, toward the end of the date, he ends up telling me that he has a fetish around being picked up, lifted up, and squeezed by larger women. Yeah, that's kind of where I thought that was going when he was saying how, like, strong she looked. There was definitely something coming up there that was going to be interesting. Oh. Okay, well, some people have their thing, and at least I could kind of see that he was attracted to me physically, so I agreed to a second date. That's interesting. When a guy comes out with the old fetish talk on the first date, that's an interesting one. Well, leading up to all of his messages started to be about how he couldn't wait for me to lift him up in my big, strong arms, and how he wondered if I could lift him over my head. Eventually, that was the only focus, and I'll admit I got weirded out and politely told him I just wasn't interested. Yeah, like if he would have played the second date and just been cool with it, I think that would have been fine. I mean, you know, maybe I want to pee on a girl. I'm not going to tell her in the first date. You know what I mean? I'm going to wait, and then I'll just pee on her randomly. Because, I mean, who doesn't like being peed on? You know? I mean, that's a pretty normal thing. That was the weirdest. The worst. Oh, okay. This is part 2. Talked to a guy on OkCupid, but he never actually ended up going on a date. A few months later, he told me that he had just broken up with a girl on OkCupid, but they were still talking and wanted to know if I'd be interested in a threesome with them. Apparently that didn't work. Good try, though. Happy ending, though. My long-term soulmate or significant other and I met on OkCupid, and we couldn't be happier. Oh, we don't want to read that. Dude, come on. Who wants to read that story? Uh, I really don't want to know anything about that before. Oh, I don't even want to read this one. You ever done anything with a dog? Blocked and deleted. Hey, you know, Bob's your app. Okay. Let's read the one from Internet Observer. Observer. Got asked out by a woman. That's interesting. Who proceeded to talk about marriage at least 6 times, talk about her ex-boyfriend several times, asked me where I would propose to her, and tell me she defined herself by being in a relationship, tell me that she could change so that she was perfect fit for me, and talk about how she was waiting to become a wedding planner. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. A lot of people I seem to see on this online dating stuff, and I made this mistake once actually, as I got a little ahead of myself, and you can do that. You can kind of be like, oh yeah, like, you know, I think we're kind of dating here, like we're kind of doing things, and the other person might be like, what? Because that conversation was never maybe relayed over, and it sounds like that happened here. This woman was going way ahead of the game, and I just, that sounds odd. She also asked me why I didn't send her a message first. The reason I didn't was because her profile came off as needy and a little crazy. So, okay, so they must have matched somewhere. And then he didn't message right away, and then she did. I'm sure that the woman will find a man who's looking for someone to be stereotypical housewife, but that person is not me. I got a free trip to the zoo out of it, though. Hey, that's a bonus. What's this one? Signed up on Tinder about 2 weeks ago. Went through all the girls in my area, increased my search radius. I went through them again. It's been 2 weeks now, and I only think I can show her for 2 scam bobs. Yeah, that sounds about right. Just again, I know I've said this a few times here, but just so as we're live streaming here, I just want to appreciate everybody coming in and checking out the stream. It does mean a lot. I do appreciate people popping in. I see we got a bunch of people in there right now, so appreciate it. Bunch of pencil pushers in here. Let's see here. No, that one sounds like it's too PG. Like, I like effed up. Like creepy guys, like messed up women, like that. Those are the stories I'm looking for. I don't want to read it like, oh, you know, she was a little bigger than I thought, so I declined her. Like, what? That's the Katie impression, right? It's just, what? Deleted. Man, it's just a bunch of I guess it is like 7 years ago. I met a girl in OkCupid, and we decided to go on a double date as she was nervous. I'm a little iffy about those, to be quite honest. I don't think right off the hop is a great idea. Like, not first date. Like, if you do a couple, like, at least the second date. But first date, double dates, I don't know, man. It can take the edge off. But, I mean, hey, I might like the other girl more. I'm just saying. So she was nervous. The night was fun, and her friend was pretty cool. Great. The next time we meet up, we plan to do an MDMA together, just her and I. What is that? What does that stand for? Hold on. We gotta find this shit, man. I don't know what this means. Oh. Jesus, it's a drug? What? I thought it was like gaming or something. Dude, like they were just going to straight up just do drugs on a second date? Okay, I hope I'm getting that wrong. Okay, so like literally the line says, the next time we were going to meet up, we plan to do drugs together. Okay, great. Just her and I. I had been doing it a lot that summer, and she was just a random user. Okay, I guess that makes sense, actually. Yep, no, that does make sense with context. Just 1 second here, guys. The Lone Patriot. Hey, Nick, love the vids. Your dates remind me of my time in the American Air Force. Law. Yeah, if your time in the American Air Force was hideous, then you're right on the money. Thanks for joining, by the way. Thanks for checking out the stream. Yeah, so anyway, so about 10 minutes into it, she goes insane. She took off all of her clothes and started... Okay, definitely drugs. And started flailing on the ground, hurting herself. She was so horny trying to get me to have sex with her, but I was scared shitless because she was acting insane, and I thought she wouldn't remember what happened. Accused me of drugging her to rape her. I called her friend over to help me restrain her, and so the friend could see I did not, in fact, try to rape her. The friend brought a guy as well, and they all witnessed how crazy she was being. We all hung out in the living room while our friends held her hands and feet together because she was trying to masturbate, and it was really awkward. Wow, that's actually... Man, she was done on drugs, dude. I don't know what was going on there. That's crazy. And it was really awkward. After a few hours, she sobered up and cried in my arms, feeling so embarrassed for what happened. I was very nice about it to her, even though I know for sure I was going to jail if the friend wasn't able to be there for to help. A few days later, she messaged me to do MDMA again. Nope. Yeah, the fact that she messaged the second time and was like, hey, do you want to do it again? I don't understand. Like, if she was the one crying on the couch, like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Hope you guys are enjoying these, by the way. Like I said, this is going to be the new YouTube series. I've got a ton of these videos made, so they're coming. All right, let's look up this one here. Hand Banana, 9,023. They all seem to be OkCupid as well, man. Had an OkCupid account for a few years. I would occasionally get on there, mostly when drunk, and message people or check and see if I had messages. One day, this decent enough looking girl messaged me, and we got to talking. It was just the usual get to know you kind of stuff, like what do you do for a living, yada yada yada. I told the girl that I worked the night shift at the local Walmart, and at the time, it didn't seem that giving her this kind of info would backfire in any way, but I was wrong. I do agree, actually. I don't mind telling someone where I work, but, like, you do got to keep that in mind. Like, if it's a location where they can publicly just walk in, like a Walmart, Superstore, Winners, keep that in the back of your mind. We continued messaging for a few days, getting to know each other. She was a school teacher and was a bit older than me. Being that I had a minimum wage job, I didn't really see much of a future there between us, and our conversations were growing a bit stale. So, me being the asshole I am, I decided the best course of action would just be to stop talking to her completely instead of telling her I wasn't interested. I do shit on the ghosting thing a lot because it is really frustrating to get ghosted, but at the same time, I do understand, like, it is just a lot easier. Like, they haven't even met here, so it would just be a lot easier to just stop responding or just give the old okay, haha, lol. You know, a few days go by and she messaged me a few times, but I, again, being an asshole, did not reply. Then I started to get messages that were a bit hostile, asking me why I wasn't talking to her and why I didn't want to be her friend and things like that. So I decided to continue ignoring her like the good person that I am. Interesting, though, that he starts getting, like, the hate messages, you know what I mean? Normally I just hate the ghosting and I'll just understand I've been ghosted and I'll just move on. I don't even message them. It'll be like one message. Like they'll text me, I'll text them back. I get no response. I don't even text the second time. I just leave it. I'm right here. A few more days go by, and then one night at about 2 a.m. while working, a coworker comes up to me and says that some girl was asking for me. At the time, I didn't put two and two together, so I just shrugged it off. Then the following few work nights, my coworker kept telling me that this girl is coming in looking for me. How she didn't find me by just walking around the store, I don't know. I guess you can walk. They must have been open like 24/7. Because I was going to say, like, where I grew up with Superstore and all that, they were closed at like 11 or like 10 p.m. So, like, if you did night shift, literally doors were locked. Like, she could not get in. Hold on, the One Patriot. I see you commenting there. Let me, just give me a second here. We'll get to you here in a minute, bud. I see you commenting something about eye dates. Lost it. Yeah, right here. So how she didn't come in the store, like, looking around for him, which is interesting. But I finally remember that I told this girl where I work at. So he did probably put two and two together. Then the next night she finds me. She had come in with a guy and confronted me about ignoring her on OkCupid. That's awkward. That's just weird, dude. She wasn't being hostile or anything, but when she asked, so when I just told her that I had been busy and hadn't been on in a while. So awkwardly she said, well, okay, just message me when you get home. At this point I was a bit freaked out, but I stuck to my ways and did not message her, hoping that she would just leave me alone. I probably would have messaged her in that case and been like, hey, listen, so, like, I don't want you to get the wrong idea, but, like, I'm kind of moving on. Because don't say that and then don't message her. You know what I mean? But of course this only made things worse. She started showing up looking for me on my days off, asking my coworkers what my schedule was and things like that. Yeah, it's getting really stalkerish here. The next time I had work, she was there around 3 a.m. again with a random guy that was a different guy from the last time, and again asking me why I had not messaged her. But this time she was a bit more hostile, saying what kind of person does this to someone and things like that. But I told her the same thing again, that I'd busy and had not gone on the website in a while. And then, as always, I continued to ignore her messages. After a few times of hearing that she had shown up looking for me again and being afraid of getting stabbed to death by this crazy chick in the parking lot, it finally stopped. She stopped coming to my work and stopped messaging me. In the end, all my hard work and paid off, and she moved on to stalking someone new, which is terrible. Dude, that's really creepy. That's like one reason why you don't tell someone like where you work, like without even knowing who they are, because you don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's really disgusting. Okay, 1 second here. What's he saying here? The lone patriot. My time in the Air Force was an awful law. It was okay. Just went on a Facebook date today. Ooh, Facebook dating. And my favorite video of yours was when you reviewed iDates. Man, I appreciate that, dude. I haven't I haven't even looked at my own iDates video in a long time. I don't even know what's that's got. They must have like 1,000 views or something. I don't know. iDates was pretty trash, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. I was gonna look it up, but we don't got time for that. Well, we're not doing that. All right, let's move on here. Let's see what we got here. It's a gasket. I think we could do this one. Just let me read this for 2 seconds here. Yeah, it's looking pretty mint. We can do that one. Met a girl and plenty of fish. Nice. I'm white, and at the time I was 27. She's white. Her 10-year-old daughter was half black. Sweet kid. Kid's dad / her ex-husband had her on the weekends. Nice guy. Everything was going well, and then she tells me she is pregnant. Okay. Not what either of us planned for, but she wanted to keep the baby. I put her on my insurance, pay my share of the bills, take her to the doc, do the right thing. We eventually agree that we don't work as a couple, but as adults, we can do right by our child. Sonogram? That's definitely a pregnancy thing. Shows it's a little girl. My mother is ecstatic. I am terrified. Then one day around month 8, the doctor calls me aside. Mr. Blank, I think you should know the baby tested positive for sickle cell anemia. I felt my gut. I don't even know what that is. I felt my gut sink to the floor. He conducted a paternity test. Guess who wasn't the father? I confronted her about the infidelity. Her response was, "I don't even like black guys." I walked out of the room to never see her again. I found out later the ex was the father. I guess they remarried because they had the nerve to send me a Christmas card. The beautiful little brown baby I paid for was in her arms. I didn't even look inside to see if they wrote anything. Dude, that's a rough one, man. Like, what was the sickle cell anemia? I just kind of want to look that up. I don't know what that is. Obviously, it probably isn't fantastic. Some disease, yeah. Okay, so it's one group of disorders known as sickle cell disease. It's an inherited red blood cell disorder. Okay, so it blocks flow to organs, depriving the affected organs of blood and oxygen. Jeez. Oh, and apparently it can be fatal. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, that got serious. But anyway, yeah. So that's one. Yeah, that's just a whole other can of worms. That wasn't more of a date. That was more of just some guy sounded like he was getting cheated on, basically. Oh boy, this one looks like a doozy. That one, look at this one here. I was on a date with a guy who blurted out that he had 3 felonies and told me I had to stop drinking because I would inevitably become an alcoholic. We were getting coffee, and he launched into how females these days just want to get drunk, and he is a good guy because he is sober, and they'd be missing out. It was awkward. Other guys I've been in relationships from social media have had major issues with their fathers, but like my dad is a deadbeat. More like I got a great childhood, but my daddy doesn't love me enough. Interesting. It's kind of interesting though to say like on a first date to be like, oh, you'll be an alcoholic if you don't tone down the drinking. Like, literally, like lady had like 1 beer, and was like, alcoholic, liar. I also hope you guys like the fireplace in the background. Unfortunately, the webcam's settings don't. They kind of grease that a little bit, so that's why it looks like super like bright, and it's kind of hard to tell what's going on. But I swear to God, it's legitimate. Just give me a second here, folks. We're taking just a momentary pause before we plug along. It's funny, like 2 people disliked that wasn't the live stream. That was my video on this stuff. Oh, someone disliked this live stream. That's hilarious. Dude, there is someone, like, he's probably watching right now, dude. I know I banned someone at one point because they were just being a retard. But, yeah, like, every video I post gets a dislike. I just think it's hilarious. Guys are just waiting. I mean, it helps me, man. You give me more views. You give me more ratings. I'll take it, man. I'm looking at my, just looking for my iDates video here real quick. Oh yeah, here it is, here it is. Dude, look at that. I forgot about this thing. 2,000 views. Jesus. Lone Patriot, I appreciate you bringing that up, man. I didn't realize it had 2,000 hits. That's pretty good. I don't know who this guy is here. GHKUR. I don't... Oh, we don't know how to say that around here. And it just is VOR, all in capitals, space, .ONG. I have no idea what that is. I don't know. That's probably a fake account. I might just... I could give him the old ban hammer, but we'll leave him for a minute. We'll let him ride his time. All right, just an NPC. All right, let's read this one here. So I met up with this guy. Wait, hold on a minute. This is the one I was going to read, yeah? Yeah, okay. I met up with this guy, had a decent first date. Well, that was easy. We went to a local cafe, coffee shop, and then to a bookstore. Seemed like a really nice guy. Man, that sounds like a terrible date. Like, to go for a coffee and then a bookstore? Jesus. He asked me on a second date and asks if I don't mind picking him up since I had a car and he had a bike. No big deal, we lived in a city. That's fair. Can't argue with that. So I get there and he cut off all of his shaggy hair into this short haircut. Oh, I see you got a haircut. Yes, I did. Yes, I did it for you. It looks nice, but I hope you didn't do it for me because we just met. And he goes, yes, I did it for. I just did it for you. Dude, that's really strong. So that's a little odd. We went on our second date back to the coffee shop. What the fuck? I'll come back to your comment here in a second. I got no idea what that question means, but give me a minute here. We go back to the coffee shop to get dinner this time, and I asked him about his religious beliefs, mentioning that I was a Christian. He said he wasn't particularly religious. Okay, we continued our date, but I wasn't really feeling it. He seemed nice enough, and the second date was fine, but I wasn't excited to see him again. We texted a bit more and agreed to meet up a few days later. Okay, so I mean, it sounds like it's pretty proactive. Oh my. The next time I came over to his place, I told him that we probably shouldn't go out because I wasn't feeling it romantically. Okay. He went over to his apartment and then was like, I'm not feeling it romantically. Like, he just friend zoned him basically. He flipped out. He kept hugging me and wouldn't let me go. That's awkward. I felt bad for him and stayed for a bit, but then dismissed myself and told him that we could be friends and we could maybe see each other around since it turned out that we had a mutual acquaintance. All right, I mean, that's fair. The next day he started texting me like crazy. He said that he had a dream where God revealed himself. I thought he wasn't religious. And said that we were destined to be together and that he wasn't going to let me go. Yeah, block his number. That he went to church and now is a Christian too. Overnight. Okay, that's interesting. And then he was supposed to head our household. I explained to him that I didn't break up with him over his religious beliefs. They didn't even break up. We weren't even doing anything. But that it was okay. And he ignored me and got upset, saying that he changed for me, cut his hair, found God, and that I was disobeying God by not going on another date with him. I could not get him to let me go, or just to go away. I didn't understand how to block someone at this point, so I figured if I stopped replying, he would eventually let it go. Did it say where she met this? Okay, it didn't say where she talked to this guy on. He kept getting worse, texting nonstop, randomly quoting scriptures, if he had the Bible right there, and repeatedly saying that I was going to eventually cave and change my mind. I told him to leave me alone because I was going out with my girlfriends that night and wasn't going to bother replying. Strangely, he thought that going out with girlfriends meant like a lesbian orgy, and then he started saying that I was going to hell for being a lesbian and that I tricked him, and that was the only reason I didn't want to go on another date with him because I was lying and a sinner. Thankfully, I never heard from him again, and unfortunately, never had the occasion to hang out with that mutual acquaintance again for several months. After which friends said that creepy guy moved to Ireland. Yeah, definitely dodged a bullet, man. There's a point where if you're gonna date someone here, like right here, he's like, he had a dream where God revealed himself. Little in the first date, buddy was like, I'm not religious. So I just find that really odd and overly bonkers. That would happen. Okay, so I got to read a question here in the live stream chat here. This is from Planet Dingo. The dingo ate my baby. Will you be doing more Urbex videos soon? Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I got no idea what that is. If you want to, rephrase that question, I will be more than happy to help you along with that. Oh, my apologies. You know what? I Googled it. If you mean urban exploring videos, like abandoned locations, quite possibly. Quite possibly, but I need to convince some people like Wesley, who I don't know if he's still around, to come with me and check out some places. But but I would like to do some. I'm just saying I'm running out of places. But if that's what you mean, then yes. Hopefully at some point here very soon, I can find another one, or I'll revisit one and just do some extra footage because I want to make some cool videos with those. Okay, I think we got a few here coming up from Astro Cats. It looks like we got a couple little stories here. 3, I think. Okay, so oh lord, I have so many. I've tried POF, OkCupid, and Tinder. I actually met my current boyfriend on Tinder, and we've been going out strong for almost a year, so I wouldn't knock it. Well, we don't want to hear about that, but I want to hear the horror stories, so here we go. One guy was attractive, tattooed, seemed interesting. Gave him my number so we could text before meeting. He lived kind of far away, so we kept having trouble making a time to meet, which eventually ended up being a good thing. As we kept talking, he revealed that he modeled himself after Elvis Presley, was obsessed with anime, like weeboo status, and believed in ghosts. As in, he invited me to converse with the spirits in a graveyard somewhere. He eventually flipped out on me for playing games when I told him I was out and would talk to him later. We never met. Yeah, it's pretty awkward when you're like, hey man, hey bro, I'm kind of busy. I'll talk to you later, and just like be like that, dude. I haven't even like looked at my phone. Like, I got the old Hinge going here. I mean, I'm not looking at it. Like, I'm looking at it now just because I mentioned it. But I mean, like, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. It's like Charles, man. We got nothing else to say on that guy. He might be watching. Yeah, that's interesting though, and it's always interesting when you hear about the guy flipping out or the girl flipping out too. Like, and they never even met. Like, just spilled some 7-Up on my keyboard. Don't worry about that. You didn't see it. Met one guy who just moved to my area and was looking for no strings attached situation. At the time, I was okay with this, so I decided to meet up with him. He worked at a gross tattoo shop and had super greasy hair. I realized he was good at working the angles in his pics. We proceeded to get shithoused at a bar together since I figured we could at least be friends, and things ended up getting weird. He was a submissive, so he basically asked me to slap the hell out of him in public in exchange for more whiskey. Obviously, I obliged. Hey, it's free whiskey. We ended up going home together, where I discovered he had 5 cats that all had human names. He baby talked to all of them, and they were super possessive of him. To the point of slamming themselves against his bedroom door to trying to get in where we were in bed together. I soldiered through some awkward sex. He gave me a necklace, and I ran out of there. I never talked to him again. It's pretty awkward. I don't know why she would even go in for the sex. I mean, just call it a day. The last guy was really attractive and actually pretty normal. He dressed well, and we had a lot of things in common. We dated sporadically for 3 months, and he dropped the bomb that he was married to his ex-girlfriend so that she could get her citizenship. He kept telling me how much he liked me, but was basically a ghost. We never saw each other, with the exception of lunch on our school campus and the occasional bar meetup. He gave me the runaround and never really wanted to commit, but we never really had sex either, so I'm not really sure what he was getting out of it. In the end, I guess that one just hurt my feelings a bit. I could kind of get that. That one doesn't sound more like a horror story, but it's definitely like one of those red flags that you gotta look out for, because you never know what people are gonna bring to the table, and that's why I will say it's not a bad idea to start texting randomly to people. Or not like randomly, but you know what I mean, like start texting before like actually meeting up, because what happens is people will reveal information through their texting, and you can get ideas of red flags. Okay, I have a Tinder story. It comes from Deleted here. I have a Tinder story. Last month, my friends and I got tipsy and decided to get a Tinder to mess with a bunch of horny guys. We would send out messages saying we had weird fetishes or asking them to shit on our tits. I mean, hey, that's normal. Anyways, I ended up getting matched with this hot military guy. You know how everyone has a type? Yeah, this guy was everything I found attractive. He had to leave to California by mid-September for Navy stuff, and we decided to make the best of it. He stayed with me for his last 2 weeks. I fell for him, and he claimed my anal sex virginity as his. Oh, boy. Oh. Alright, that's interesting. It was great until I decided to stalk his Facebook account. I find out he got married last year, and we did anal on his anniversary. It messed me up for a while. I've been seeing their wedding pictures and have seen his wife's statuses about how much she misses him while he's gone and how great he treats her. Basically, I haven't been on Tinder since because I don't trust military guys. Man, that's like kind of fucked up and then like gross and also like disgusting on both ends. Like that she would just be like, yeah, like open, like just yeah, like I'll just go get destroyed, and like he's married and just doing that. Started talking to a girl in OkCupid once a while back. She seemed normal enough at first. It always says that. It seemed normal enough at first. We exchanged messages, eventually started texting and calling each other, or each other after. Okay. I was reading that wrong. I asked her if she would be interested in going out for a coffee or drink sometime. Turns out she lied about her age on her profile. Apparently, her profile said she was 22. She was 19. I was only 22, so was still up for getting together. She tells me that her father is a priest or pastor or some church dude, and that she wasn't allowed to go out with guys, and that we would have to spend the date in my car or at one of my friends' houses. I guess like he doesn't have his own place. Then she turned out to be super clingy, even though she was on and off with some other guy. She would call me as soon as I got off work, and a few minutes after I'd come up with an excuse to hang out. To hang up. No matter what, we would always call 10 to 15 minutes later, and I'd come back to a million texts if I didn't answer. She disappears for a few weeks. I figure she knows I'm not interested. Nope. Never. I get a text from her about a month later saying she's sorry for being pushy. She also mentioned about how she tried to kill herself after her current boyfriend dumped her for being crazy, and she got committed to a mental hospital. She tried to kill herself again in the loony bin and pissed all over the floor once they put her in observation. She asked if I was still down to hang out after that. I deleted my profile and blocked her number. Oh. Yeah, that's really greasy, man. You can really, like I said, you really gotta like dodge some bullets, man. Okay, so we're going to read this one here, but we're going to skip the last couple lines here. Because it says 2 years later, I met an amazing man on OkCupid and we're married. We don't want to hear about that. We want to hear about crap. So we're going to skip this. So we're just going to read this. So yay, the redhead. I was on OkCupid for a while and had been going on a few dates. Even consistently dating a few people when I met Kay. Okay. Kay must just be like an abbreviation for someone's name. Kay was a tall, handsome guy, owned his own business, and seemed like a great dude. We lived in different states, but he visited for business often and spent time with me around that. We had gone on maybe 5 to 10 dates total. After 2 months, he comes down to spend the weekend, and at a lunch on Sunday afternoon, the conversation turns to the future. Suddenly, and without any previous discussion, Kay has decided he wants to buy a house in my state, wants me to quit my job, and wants us to get married and start having kids. Oh boy. I tried to steer the conversation elsewhere, and I reminded him that I had said I wasn't really interested to anything serious, etc. when we first started talking. He wanted me to think about it and reminded me I'd never have to think about money again. He was insanely rich. We parted as usual, normal kiss goodbye, I'll call you when I get home kind of thing. We never spoke again. And we skipped the last lines. Definitely an odd one there. I mean, if you want to, if you definitely want the money, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I completely get that. But what's going on here? Ooh. Oh. Oh my! Also, I just want to thank again. I've said this like 3 times. I just want to thank everybody who's currently in the live stream here. We got a few people just chatting away. A couple pencil pushers laying around in the chat room here, so I appreciate that. And if you're watching after the fact on YouTube, which you can do, cheers. That one's really bad. A fat girl showed up trying to impersonate my date. It's happened every time. Yep. Okay. This time I will recount the story of the Asian. Interesting. Okay, let's read. I've never dated an Asian before, but this was my first time. After thinking she was normal for an extended period of time, I decided to take her out on a date. The whole evening she was making cat noises. I shit you not, cat noises. Well, that's awkward. Now I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt, and maybe she was nervous. But the very next morning, she sends me a text with a cat emote and the word meow. I even ignored that for the sake of she had huge boobs, and we dated one more time. Not only did the cat noises continue, but she climbed on top of me, removed her shirt, and started rubbing her armpit hair on me whilst doing the cat noises. And then the first comment says, "What the meow?" I don't know, man. I'd be feeling it. Maybe not the armpit hair, but I don't know. I'm like a good pussy. Oh, thank you. Okay, let's go with this one here. So I met a guy from OkCupid for coffee one evening. He was cute and seemed nice. Coffee went fine, so we decided to go across town for a drink. He followed me to my apartment. Awkward. I told him it was my friend's place, still a stupid decision, and I rode with him to the bar. Everything was cool, but then he started touching me around my neck for literally no reason, got weirdly all up in my personal space, and I ended up paying for all of our drinks. I went into the bathroom and called a guy friend to ask him how I should politely end the evening. In the meantime, one of my girlfriends texted me to see how everything was going. I hung up with my guy friend, thought I opened up my girlfriend's text message and responded, "This is torture, I'm in hell, how do I get out of here?" Threw my phone in my purse and went back to the table with a smile on my face until I realized I sent it to him. Good meme, dude. Funny thing is that I begged him just to leave me there because I deserved it, and he wouldn't. I spent the next 30 minutes in a car with him while I awkwardly apologized. He still tried to kiss me, and he waited for me to get in my car and leave so that he could make sure that I made it home safely. Then he called me the next day and asked me out again. It's really terrifying, in my opinion, when guys do that kind of stuff, because it just comes like, it's funny that she texted the wrong person, was like, oh shit, man, like, this is going terribly. But he even knew this and still tried to proceed in with it and say, like, okay, I need to move forward with this girl. Like, dude, that's just a terrible decision. Terrible. I went on a date with a girl whose mom had died suddenly a few weeks before. Well, that's awkward. She did mention this in the pre-date chatting. Well, within 10 minutes of meeting her, she's crying. I felt awful for her and could understand how tough she must have been having it. We walked and talked for maybe 3 hours. By the end, she was all smiles and thanked me for giving her a brief moment to not dwell. We met one more time after this, but I knew I didn't want to try to build a relationship with someone in such a fragile state. Nice girl, shit situation. I had another date with a girl who uttered the words, "It's so nice to talk to someone educated." She looked down on everyone and seemed like a fairly awful person. I should have bailed out, but instead engaged arsehole mode. It didn't end well. Yeah, I need more information on that. Like, what did he say? What did he do? Just so you guys know, we're going to go for an hour and a half, I think, today. I was going to do 2 hours, but I feel like an hour and a half would be good. So we're going for about another 28, 27 minutes. And then we'll probably end up wrapping up around there. So it'll be an hour and a half. I think that's a good length. Good length for me just rambling. My throat's just getting like almost dry from just rambling here. So I have this really bad habit of getting way too drunk and writing way too involved messages to girls on OkCupid. Some of the early ones are a zenith of cringe meets epics. So much that I've deleted the account, though it would have made an amazing book or blog. It reads much like Overqualified meets Tucker Max. I've seen... there's not even a story there. Okay, here we go. I was more or less sexually assaulted. Now, that's a great start. I went to this girl's dorm room. Her roommate was gone. We talked for a little, made out. We did some other things, etc. No sex at that time. That's fine. Well, we were lying down afterward and discovered through conversation that we had some mutual friends. I didn't exactly want those mutual friends to know what I was doing. It's complicated. So I kindly asked her, please don't tell any of our friends about this. I'd like to keep it between us. She told me that I would have to come back and see her later that week and have sex with her if I wanted to keep it a secret. F that. I was freaked out by it. So I quickly shot up and said I need to leave. I was extremely uncomfortable. I was emotionally abused / blackmailed in a previous relationship, and it was very damaging. She immediately pushed me down and held me there. She was a sturdy girl. It took a minute, but she let me up and promptly went and blocked the door. I talked her down, and she was able to leave presently after that. I mean, I don't know, man. That's kind of crazy. Like, what the hell? One sec here. I'm just gonna look something up here. I'm just gonna see if Demon Slayer's coming out here. There's supposed to be supposed to be an episode today, mate. What the fudge, man? There's supposed to be an episode of today, and I was looking forward to it. I was like, dude, I'll watch that shit. No, I don't see it online. One sec here. 1 second here, people. Just gonna search some things up here real fast. Just take a breather here, I guess, for a moment here. Let's see. You always gotta do the specific keywords to get it, eh? I just type in like the first 2 words of the show, and then it's like it never just comes up right away. Okay, looks like it's around. Alright, I don't know. We'll figure it out later. Okay. Let's keep it going. Worst date. The one where I ignored basic internet safety protocol 1, the coffee date. Ooh, I like the coffee date. Coffee date's a good date. So, long story. I'm in college on OkCupid, and I get a message from this guy, and it turns out that we knew each other from high school. He had been a senior when I was a sophomore, and we'd had a Photoshop class together. So, yeah, I remembered him too. Okay, cool. All good. And he's all, hey, I've had a crush on you for such a long time, which is a little creepy. It's so cool that I found you again. So that's flattering. And he asks if I'd like to play video games, and I'm like, heck yeah. So he invites me over to back to his place for video games. So that must be like after they actually met for coffee. Thunder cracks in the background. It was pissing down rain, so he offered to come get me in his car off campus. So I'm like, sure, why not? Ooh. And he comes and picks me up in his flashy as fuck red 2-seater, and he's every neckbeard stereotype you can imagine. Just a giant guy, both fat and tall, sparse beard all over his chins. I think he kissed my knuckles at some point. Well, I know I'm not exactly stunning either, so I'm like, all right, we're just gonna go play some video games. It'll be cool. On the way back to his place, he calls his old Subaru, which I vaguely remembered as a pussy wagon. That's interesting. And talked about how he had traded up for a flashy red car we were in. This is a turnoff to me, because really, if you have a car that runs and can potentially drive a bunch of dogs around you, you do not need a flashier car with no cargo or front space. I don't know, man. I mean, it's a flashier car. I could kind of get that, but like, I could kind of not at the same time. We're about a half a mile from campus and in the nice apartments there, and he brings me up to his studio. He's all like, hey, you want to get high? Takes me to his bathroom and shows me the most complicated, fancy beaker-style bong I've ever seen up to that date. He bragged like it's $1,000 top of the line bong. Ooh, okay. Again, with the unimpressive money spending. I like half a toke, and he finishes the bowl. We kiss for a bit, and I'm like, all right, I can do kissing. But then he wants to take a shower with me. Whoa! So I dodge out into the room and ask about video games. Weren't we going to play video games? Good question. So he follows me, but he's obviously too stoned for Mario Golf. So he asks me to pick a movie, and I choose Life of Brian because it's a good movie, and I haven't seen it in a while. So we chill on the couch, and he proceeds to try to basically steal second base and imply that, hey, he lives in a studio and his bed is right there. I mean, we could go over there and be comfortable. I played dumb, but then we couldn't see the movie, I said, and he huffed and went back to tit squeezing. Oh, interesting. Okay. The groping would have been almost okay, but he, for whatever reason, decided that instead of the classic up and under, to instead go down the neck of my t-shirt. That's weird, dude. So he's kind of choking me in addition to pinching my nipple in the mistaken impression that this is turning me on. So I tell him to stop, and he gets all huffy. Uh-oh, that's bad. I would have left. But he stops, so we go back to watching the movie, and then he tries it again, down the neck of the shirt, yada, yada, yada. This happens a couple times, so then I just stand up and say something like, I think I should go home now. As soon as I get up, he bursts into these blueberry awful tears, and he's telling me something about how it's been so long, and could I just stay? It's raining, he totally dried me, and did I have about 350? Is that how he says 350? So at the time I realized he was about 500 feet tall, and from the da-da-da, so I smile and weakly tell him, I've had a lovely time, but I must get going. Cue more and more stronger crying. I walked home in the rain, called my sister, as I did so in case he followed me and took what amounts to basically a rape shower to wash the feel of his hands off me. I've been thinking about it today because I just got back I just got back last night from a second date with a guy who seemed like he was mad at me and decided against a third date for my not being much of a risk taker, and I assume it's because I didn't want to go back to his apartment after our first date. That's so greasy, man, that the people want to do that shit. If you're reading this, Drew, and I know you're a Redditor, then now you know why I'm a little wary of being fucking date raped. The only thing that saved me in the above story is that he got himself too high to restrain me effectively. Had he wanted to, he could have wrecked me. Wow, damn. Yeah, no, that's pretty terrifying, man. Man, yeah, no, that's pretty crazy. Um, Give me a second here. I'm just trying to queue up this show for later, but like I want to watch it like right after the stream here, but I'm looking online and it doesn't want to seem to come up. Like what the fuck? Bear with me here for a minute. All right, all right, we'll figure it out. We'll figure that out. It's bugging me though, cause okay, this looks like a small one here. No, we'll leave that one. Oh, geez, this is a bit of one. Okay, we get a couple. POF regular user in the summer of 2012. I went out with quite a few women who turned out to be batshit crazy. Seems to happen. Girl 1 accused me of lying and cheating on her after seeing a thread of tweets between her best friend and I, where we discussed music. I stopped seeing her immediately afterwards. Yeah, that's pretty weird. Girl 2 didn't want to meet me, but wanted to meet my girlfriend. Reluctantly, I obliged. She would harass me whenever I wasn't messaging her or Skyping with her, was jealous of every female friend I had on social media, and threatened to kill herself regularly. Ouch. She broke out with me at 2 a.m. one night via text message. Girl 3. Man, these are doozies, dude. Never met me, but sent me lots of dirty pictures, and as soon as I sent her some back, she stopped sending me messages. Interesting. Girl 4. This one had potential. She was smart, funny, and didn't care that I didn't have a car because she liked driving more than being driven around by a boyfriend. We went on 2 awesome dates, but we got in an argument where she told me she was saving herself for marriage. I was okay with waiting, but I didn't plan on getting married right away, especially at 21. And having a physical relationship is important to me. We talked about it a few times, but she still wanted me to wait until marriage, so we decided to break it up. Ouch. Girl 5, she wanted me to commit to her and not talk to other women, but wanted to keep our relationship status open so it didn't put pressure on the relationship. I knew this was a red flag, so I asked her who she was fucking on the side, and she admitted it was 2 guys, so I promptly ended the relationship. As you would. As you would. Wow. Okay, I actually gotta really use the bathroom, and I gotta take a deuce, and I'm gonna be a few minutes. I want to eat supper, and I want to watch my show. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read the last. This is gonna be the last one. I was gonna go 1:30, hour and a half, but I'm just gonna cut it like 15 minutes early. I don't think you guys care. we'll do another one. Don't worry about it. There'll be more of these. So I'll read this one here. This will be the last one, and then we're gonna cut her down here. It looks like it's greasy, so this should be good. There's like a dog out there dying or something. I don't know. Okay, so I met a girl who had been dating online. Who had been dating online via Plenty of Fish. I met her through a mutual friend, so hopefully this story still applies. I think it does. Her friend has been talking her up, showed me a pic. She seemed cute enough. So I met her at a small bar restaurant for 1 drink. I like it's 1 specifically. Like it's not like, hey, we went out for a drink or 2. 1 drink. The girl that showed up kinda sorta resembled the picture. It's like she took 100 selfies and found one that made her look possibly attractive. I didn't want to be rude, so I stayed and had a drink with her. Okay, so she probably might have been slightly catfish there. I don't think it's really a catfish, but I guess it could be. We were getting along well enough, so we ended up staying for 3 drinks. I didn't find her attractive, but she seemed nice, and we had some things in common. She told me about her experiences on Plenty of Fish and how guys were just looking to get into her pants. I assured her I'm not like that. I had no interest in getting in her pants, although I could probably fit in two of them. Ooh! Ouch. So I paid the tab, and we're fixing to leave. She knew that the Jeep in the parking lot was mine, and she parked right next to it so we could walk to our cars together. We chatted for a bit longer in the parking lot. She had told me she had a good time and wants to know if we can meet together again. I'm not really feeling it, but again, I hate to be rude, so I'm all like, sure, text me sometime. I'm leaning out to the front of my Jeep, and she comes up to me and leans into me like face to face. I'm kind of taken by surprise. I'm not sure what to do. Oh. So I put my arms around her, as far as they would go, and give her a short hug. She looks up at me, and just like in a movie, everything is suddenly in slow motion. Her eyes are closed, lips puckered, and slowly moving her face close to mine. No! That's funny. I'm thinking, I really hope I didn't have the look of disgust on my face, so I kiss her. Just a quick peck on the lips, like grandma would give you, and then try to stand up straight so she couldn't lean on me. She's still right in my face, and I'm not sure how to get her to back off. Fortunately, she got the idea and took a step back. She kind of hinted around about having nothing to do for the rest of the night and going home alone, and I'm like, well, have a good night, and got in the Jeep. I think I kind of shocked her. And she stood there for a split second, probably thinking, did he just turn down an offer for sex? Anyway, she gets in the car, and I leave. She texted me a few hours later, just wanted to say good night. I wanted to ask you to come home with me, but I was nervous. He. Or something to that extent. I didn't reply, and about 15 minutes later, she texted me again. Had a really great time. Hope to see you again. 15 minutes later, well, I guess you're not interested. It sure didn't seem like that way in the parking lot, and kept going on. Are you sure you don't want to come over? I know it's kind of late, but I don't have to be up early, hint, hint. And all sorts of vague references to sleeping over at her house. I didn't reply until the next morning, disregarding all her efforts, and just said, yeah, I had a good time too, thanks. She texted back immediately, asking what I was doing today and wanted to get together, and she didn't reply. She sent a few more texts, and the last one was something like, okay, well, I guess you're busy, text me later, and that was the last I heard from her. It's really upsetting that will happen, that, like, the signals will be there, you make it evidently clear that you're not interested, and that you'll just get, like, bombarded with text messages saying, you know, like, again, like, every 15 minutes, hey, are you around? Hey, did you have a good time? Hey, are you gonna answer me? And it can get really awkward, man, and it's a real shame because, like, you know, she's probably a nice person, and, like, it's just, you know, it's just the weirdness of that you have to deal with sometimes, and it's like, just rather unfortunate. You know, and that sucks, you know, and it's like, again, like, she probably could be just an absolute sweetheart, but it's just, you know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Anyway, I don't really know, man. I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. Like I said, I got to run to the washroom, man. I'm just trying to see here. But my shoe. Oh, I think we got her, boys. I did find another stream, but we got her. So anyway, just kind of in a recap here, just about this live stream thing. If you guys enjoyed this, which I had I probably had a good little, half a dozen people come in, and I think some spam bot come in here and check out the video, or the live stream. So I do appreciate that, guys, and that's awesome because I know I don't normally live stream, so it's interesting to see who pops in. So what I think we'll do is I might try to do these every week or every 2 weeks or whatever, and I'll keep using the statuses, and I'll just say, hey, I'm going to do a live stream. I was going to do one yesterday, but I'm just going up to Wendy's with a buddy of mine and a girl, so I mean, that took importance. But we'll probably do one. I'm hoping a week from now on Sunday, and I'll make a post about that if it's gonna go down. Anyway, like I said, we got to drop a deuce, and we got to watch a show, eat some chicken burger and fries. So, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. If I know you in person, we'll see you when I see you. You know, Wesley. And I see someone just left the stream immediately. They were like, yeah, he's done, dude. All right, anyway, and thanks for watching, man. We'll be uploading some of these as videos as well, so you'll be seeing those coming out here probably within a day or two. All right, take it easy, guys. Appreciate it. Pencil pushers, you know how it is. Loving the live chat, Eric Simpson. Oh, Eric, man, you just missed it, brother. Just shutting her down, but we'll be doing one probably in a week. But thanks for coming.